All right? God bless them. They're angels. But that 13% needs to be taken to task. I mean, how many guys are beating women? I would guess it'd probably be right around that same, maybe a little higher. I have no idea. Let's say it's 20. Let's say 20% of guys beat their women. Should they not be called out and be called cowardly pieces of shit? And if you call them cowardly piece of shit, would I have a right to sit there and look at that?
I know we just throwing that number out there.
Well, that's now you're inciting further hate and disgust toward all men. You're being really selfish here, man, because I go off on everybody. This podcast is over the top and it's crazy. I call guys cunts on this podcast, and you're being really selfish right now. And now you make this big long speech, and then you're going to take your ball and go home. Look at this. Look at all she's
the little
up here. Women still earn only 70 cents for every dollar a man earns. I think you guys should make the same amount, but I also don't think that number is accurate. Mm-hmm. Yeah. $77. 77 cents for every dollar that a man earns. Because if you include divorce settlements, you get to keep your 77 cents plus his 50%.
Well, not just that, but there's other factors involved as well, as I mentioned in a previous video that I recently did. So it's not like there's an intentional, like, because you're a woman, we're only going to pay you 77 cents. There's so many things involved in everybody's own individual world that you just can't make that sort of blanket claim declaration and have it hold up to scrutiny, because it doesn't really hold up so well.
You get to keep your 77 cents plus his 50%, his 50 cents. So then he's down to 50, and then you're up to $1.37. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
There he goes and
yells. Fuck yourself, you oversensitive jackass. Good Lord.
Okay.
Go buy a bigger bra. I don't know what your fucking problem is. I hope that bugged you too, that I said that. That was deliberately supposed to be offensive. All right? So go fucking write a letter to fucking cunthair.com, because I don't give a shit. All right? In short, we are still not equal to our male counterparts, and we will forever be labeled the weaker sex. Well, with that attitude, of course you will. Yeah.
She's taking offense at biology. This person, we are physically the weaker sex. If you're going to talk about just outright strength, we are. That doesn't make us less than. It's just a biological reality. Why are you offended by biology? Why is she offended by biology? That is so ridiculous. She's the type of person that I've referred to before. People who seem to be offended by reality, by the reality of biology, and try to, I don't know, diminish it or do away with it, or try to act like it doesn't exist, or try to act like that because it exists, this is somehow a terrible thing for women. I feel like I'm talking so much. I feel like I'm talking so much that I'm going to have to end up splitting this into two parts, because this is making me feel really ranty. And I didn't go into this thinking that it was going to make me feel really ranty. I thought it was just going to be funny. I mean, it's funny in a way to listen to him and the way he reacts, but at the same time, it's frustrating because I know exactly the type of person that wrote this letter to him, and that gets under my skin.
I don't think you're the weaker sex. I think that that's all a myth. I think that actually makes you stronger. Because guys are fucking idiots, and they think because they can do more push-ups than their woman that they're actually, that makes them smarter.
I don't think that's what.
I don't know. Oh, my fucking doorbell's ringing. I don't think that's what that means. Are you serious?
Oh.
Hang on a second. I gotta go up here, and then I gotta read the rest of this. Hold on. Okay. All right, so I'm back. Little winded, but I'm back. So, anyways, blah 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 blah. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. Where the hell is it? Where the hell was I? Weaker sex. And then she tries to break me down psychologically about my mom not hugging me.
Oh, geez.
If that's the case, then I'm sorry for you. I hate when people do that. It's like, you're not sorry for me. You hate me right now. Okay? So stop acting like you're really sorry for me.
Yeah.
And you're showing some sort of empathy. You're not showing empathy.
It's so condescending when people do that.
Like I said, I go off on everything here. I've never said that a woman should make the same amount an hour as a guy. I never said that a guy should be able to hit a woman. I've never said that. What the thing I'm trying to shine a light to is that some of these divorce settlements are absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And that when a woman cheats on a guy and has a kid with another person, and then the poor sap who married her has to pay for that, you don't think that's fucked up?
It is. And not just that, but I heard recently, if I'm remembering right, that a judge ordered, and I don't know if that happened here in the U.S. or in the UK or something like that, but that a judge ordered that a sperm donor had to pay child support. And I don't know if this sperm donor was like, let's say, if it was acquired at an actual sperm bank or whatever, or if it was, let's say, a private sort of whatever that they worked out between themselves. I don't know. Like maybe no actual physical act took place, but it was supplied and used and whatever. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But I do remember hearing not too long ago about this happening and thinking that it was really asinine. And now I feel like I need to look more into it and find out. But especially if it was something from, like, let's say a sperm bank, I can't. It's like, why would it even enter a person's brain that they have to do? Let's say if this is the case. Why would that even enter someone's head that they have the right to go do something like that? But before I blabber on too much about that, I might be incorrect about the details, so I should look it up.
Howard Stern just did a great story on it last week. Somebody sent me an email. He did a story about a guy who was in that situation, and he refused to pay the child support, and they said, we're going to send you to jail. He's going to go to jail because his wife cheated on him, had unprotected sex. Hey, to hell with AIDS. Let's roll the dice with my husband's life, right? Has unprotected sex, has a kid. He doesn't realize it, figures it's his because it's his wife's pregnant. Why would he think that it's somebody else's? He starts making the payments. Next thing you know, he starts raising the kid, figures out it's not his kid, and has a natural reaction. I don't want to pay for that. And the law is just like, no, you have to pay for it. Let me ask you this, ma'am. Do you have any empathy for that? You seem to have all this empathy for women and women's issues. And like somehow I'm supposed to still respect you, despite the fact that you could give a fuck if there's injustices done on the other side. It doesn't make any sense. And I want to see, this is focusing on this issue. This is an issue for some reason that is just not talked about whatsoever. It's just sort of accepted.
Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely deplorable. I think it's deplorable. So I have the right to talk about it. You know what I mean? And if you want to get offended and you want to be selfish and just be like, well, that isn't fair. What if I had a whole segment every week and all I did was talk about wife beaters? You know what? You'd probably send me an email. I just want you to tell you, I love your podcast even more. It is just, you are a hero to hear a man out there just letting these cowardly pieces of shit know that you'd be fucking over the moon about it. But now,
the way he turns his head to scream so that it doesn't blow out the mic, and then his voice kind of broke a little bit that was funny. I don't know. No, that's the sort of thing that kind of cracks me up, that he acts out his annoyance that way, and that's comedic to me. But the issue at hand is really, really frustrating to listen to.
Now all of a sudden, I'm talking about women who are doing shit that you're not even doing. At what point in any of these stupid fucking rants that I've done have I ever said that all women are doing this? I never have. I never said that all women cheat on their husbands and have a kid out of wedlock. I didn't. All right? Do I make generalizations? Absolutely. It's a comedy. I paint with a broad brush. I'm fucking around, okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Stop being so goddamn selfish, okay? And if you don't want to listen to my podcast, don't listen to my podcast anymore. And
I'm sure he doesn't care.
Go fuck yourself. I don't know. What she's doing is a pet peeve that I have. Like that happens to me like sometimes when I do shows, and at the end of my shows, someone will come up to me and just be like, look, I have a good sense of humor, but subject whatever. My fucking phone.
It's like
They'll just be like, you know what? That's never funny. That is never. Oh, the lovely Nia, everybody.
Oh.
Hang on one second.
Okay.
Hang on one second. Hello. Hey, I'm taping my podcast right now. Is this urgent? Are you on the side of the road? We got AAA. No, the dog was farting and I thought it had to shit in the house, so I took it outside and then it just sniffed around and peed. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. So I'm going to get back to the podcast, all right? All right, I'll tell you in like a half. All right, bye.
Okay.
Anyways. Oh, and then she goes on to say that the terms I use will then cause, people to use as I fuck around and use these terms, she then thinks that people are going to use them seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure a few will, but that's not on me. Somebody who does that, it's because you're a moron. And it's not my responsibility to fucking babysit anybody once they're an adult. If you don't know not to call women these terms, okay? Although I will tell you this. If, there is a time to call a woman a cunt, okay? And that's when you find out that your son is not your son. And you still have to pay for it. There's a reason that word does exist. All right? All right there, sweetheart. So I hope you come back to the podcast. I hope that you actually listen and will respond. And I don't want to hear another fucking word out of you unless you tell me what you think about those kinds of fucking women who do that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And stop bringing up slavery and all this other shit and trying to drag all this other crap into it, all right? You stay in your own goddamn lane, sweetheart. All right? Good Lord. To compare yourself not being able to vote to being enslaved, really?
And that was a whole other issue, too, with a bunch of different complexities involved. It wasn't just as simple as like, well, we're not going to let women vote because we don't like women. There were so many other things involved in that people they're not even, a lot of people aren't aware of.
Enslaved? Really? That's another one that's a whole nother fucking topic. Every fucking person out there just tries to fucking jump on that.
Mm-hmm.
Such
a lazy argumentative
That's
tactic.
our N-word. Oh, go fuck yourself. Anyways.
No.
I can't believe you just did that. Why did you flick that bic right in my face? You burned off 2 eyebrow hairs. That's my Dresden.
Oh gosh. Okay. It's 1 second away, and I don't want it to jump to the next to the next thing because I forgot to take it out of the playlist before I started playing it. Anyway, so this was good. Pretty much everything that I watch or listen to from Bill Burr is entertaining. This was entertaining in some ways, but in other ways, it was also supremely annoying and frustrating just because there are so many people like this. And a lot of them, like on social media, Facebook, Twitter, a lot of these people that get on their little soapboxes and morality high horses and think they just can just preach and preach and preach to people like they're somehow superior because maybe someone has a different idea about something or viewpoint or maybe they said something that triggered the person. We are such a sensitive society. It is sad. Well, it's not just sad, it's disturbing more than anything else. It's like we are becoming so weak in a lot of ways. We've made so much progress that we become so comfortable and so complacent that now everything is seen as problematic or offensive or something to get up in arms about. And we waste so much energy getting aggravated at stuff that isn't even an issue. I mean, when I say they, I'm just speaking in general terms I'm referring in general terms to people like this woman, the way they act in general. And the way they just dramatize things and try to turn something into they try to turn things into something it's not. They try to create issues where there aren't issues. They put so much energy into doing that, and it has infected all parts of society for the most part, that as a whole, I feel like it has done nothing but make us weak and just not able to handle actual serious things that might happen in the future. Like, it's just turned us into such little babies, such little crybabies. I mean, the generation of today would never have been able to make it through something like World War II. We would never be able to I just don't think we have it in us.
Is it me, or I was looking at the opening and I was thinking, were they kind of almost showing like corruption in government?
Yes.
Even like from the Clintons to even like
Republicans. That's kind
of funny for a Marvel movie, you know?
I think they were just but it wasn't just, it was also, you saw there was Yeltsin. And I thought Putin was in there. And so they were just basically making the general, they were demonstrating that the widow program had its fingers in every thing, in every administration, like, of different countries, and it didn't matter what party they belonged to or whatever. It had infected everything.
But that's kind of funny because, you know, they're kind of left leaning.
Yeah, they are.
Don't want to go. They rather do the right, but no.
They also showed him with Jimmy Carter.
I missed
that. Was one of the very first images that they showed of that Dreykov guy with a politician.
I noticed the black girl you were talking about, but then I noticed Putin.
Condoleezza Rice, and Putin. And
so were they also?
Did they show him with Reagan? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look at it.
But it was just basically to make the point that the widows were everywhere.
How come Iron Man didn't hear of them during?
I know, right? Well, because they
were secret.
They were secret, yeah.
It's funny because I feel like Black Widow was kind of like going back to how it dealt with Earth problems, because you know how
it wasn't so much supernatural type stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Because outside of what they showed historically over there, Guardians of the Galaxy is all over the place. It's kind of interesting. Go ahead with your recording.
Okay, what was I saying before I was interrupted by my son? I don't even remember, honestly, and I've gone on long enough with ranting and complaining. So I think I want to move on to something a little bit more entertainment related instead of something that's going to get my blood pressure up. So, what about Black Widow?
Get on the bandwagon for Black Widow.
Oh, okay, whatever. My son's a little bit obsessed with Black Widow right now, especially.
It's like the best, like one of the fun movies that come out.
Yeah, especially Florence Pugh's character. I think he's got a little bit of a crush on her.
I just like that character.
She's cool. She's so much fun. Okay, this has nothing to do with this video. I am pulling the plug on this, you guys.
No, we gotta keep going.
Adios.